my God, you guys, take a bath. Yep, that's the actual advice Meghan Markle allegedly got from none other than the iconic fashion house Balenciaga. Can you even believe that? Apparently, the fashion brand, yes, that Balenciaga, had reached a breaking point. Behind those glossy photos and red carpet smiles, whispers were growing louder, and the word was something wasn't quite right. According to sources close to the situation, Meghan's body odor had become such a persistent issue that the brand had no choice but to step in. Imagine Balenciaga staff having that awkward, humiliating talk with a former royal. Insiders claim Meghan's personal hygiene habits don't exactly match the flawless, polished image she parades in public. Sure, she's always camera-ready, hair sleek, skin glowing, every outfit on point, but behind closed doors? Allegedly, the story is very different. Apparently, Meghan sticks to what's being described as a minimal bathing routine. Meaning, she reportedly bathes just once a day and only if it fits her schedule. Once a day. And look, in the real world, that's fine. But in the fashion world, especially in luxury houses like Balenciaga, that's basically a cardinal sin. When your entire brand screams perfection and someone walks in smelling less than perfect, it's a problem. So what did Balenciaga do? Well, they're not exactly known for sugarcoating. After repeated complaints from staff and collaborators, they apparently had to intervene. And when they did, the message was clear, blunt, and completely without ceremony. Professional hygiene is non-negotiable. Can you imagine how awkward that must have been? A fashion brand telling a duchess to take a bath? But here's where it gets even juicier, because this whole situation highlights the massive gap between Meghan's public image and the reality insiders claim to have seen up close. On screen, Meghan Markle is perfection personified, graceful, charming, effortlessly glamorous. Off camera, though, according to these sources, that illusion cracks. Apparently, the contrast is so striking that it started creating friction between her and the brands she's been trying to align with. Now, fashion insiders are calling this moment a turning point in Meghan's fashion career. Her spotless reputation is one thing, but when you're working with brands like Balenciaga, even the smallest misstep can cause chaos. These are people who operate in a zero-error environment where image is everything. Reportedly, Meghan was completely caught off guard when Balenciaga confronted her. She genuinely thought her once-a-day bath schedule was perfectly fine. But for the ultra-controlled world of high-end fashion, where every single detail is scrutinized, it just wasn't cutting it. And you know what? This isn't just about cleanliness. This story taps right into a much bigger narrative. Meghan's ongoing struggle to adapt to her post-royal life. Ever since leaving the palace, she's thrown herself into Hollywood, business, and high-fashion ventures. But all those worlds come with brutal levels of scrutiny. Every move she makes, every outfit she wears, every word she says, analyzed under a microscope. And in that kind of environment, even something as personal as a bathing routine can blow up into a full-blown scandal. At first, sources say the Balenciaga team tried to be subtle about it, dropping hints, making polite suggestions, maybe offering discreet reminders. But when things didn't change, they apparently had to make it clear, fix this or risk your reputation. And that's when it hit Meghan hard. For someone who's built her entire brand around elegance, control, and sophistication, being confronted about something so basic must have been mortifying. But here's where things get even more complicated. Gossip insiders are pointing out that this fits a pattern. That behind her picture-perfect public image, Meghan's been called out before for being, let's just say, high maintenance. Over the years, there have been whispers about her demanding behavior, on-set tensions, and behind-the-scenes drama. And now, this Balenciaga hygiene fiasco seems to be the latest addition to the never-ending list of Meghan headlines. To be fair, Balenciaga had a lot to lose. Fashion brands live and die by their image. When you're dealing with a global superstar, especially a former royal, any tiny misstep becomes world news. So addressing the issue directly wasn't just about Meghan. It was about protecting their brand. But oh boy, once the story leaked, the internet exploded. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. Everyone's talking. Some are laughing, some are defending Meghan, others are gleefully dissecting every rumor and reaction. And honestly, it's classic YouTube gossip gold, a scandal that's equal parts shocking, human, and just messy enough to go viral. Because let's face it, it's the perfect storm. A luxury brand, a glamorous ex-royal, and a very human hygiene mishap. It's got everything. Drama, irony, and that irresistible fall-from-grace undertone that gossip fans eat up. It's almost poetic, isn't it? The woman who's been sold as flawless finally being revealed as, well, a little bit normal, and that's what makes it such a huge talking point. In Meghan's world, every detail is managed, every appearance is curated, and yet, somehow, this slipped through. Suddenly, even something as personal as taking a bath has become a headline. Ridiculous, maybe. But it's also a reminder of how unforgiving the celebrity world is. In the realm of luxury fashion, image equals value, and Balenciaga, of all brands, wasn't about to risk theirs over a bit of royal sweat. So yeah. Take a bath might sound like trivial advice, but in this world, it's deadly serious. It's about protecting image, maintaining partnerships, and upholding professional standards. For Meghan, it's another bruise on her reputation, one that plays perfectly into the ongoing narrative surrounding her life. Glamorous, ambitious, endlessly scrutinized, and constantly caught in a tug-of-war between public perfection and private reality. Stylists, assistants, coordinators, everyone was stuck in this weird balancing act, trying to stay polite while clearly uncomfortable. So here's where things really start to spiral. According to one insider, the tension backstage turned into what they called a silent revolt. Models weren't yelling, there were no confrontations, but the message was crystal clear. No one wanted to be too close to Meghan. They didn't gossip in front of cameras or start public drama, but their body language said everything. People were whispering, others were covering their noses or taking an extra step back. And you know what? That subtle avoidance became louder than words. You could feel it in the air, one insider said. Everyone was trying to be polite, but the tension was unmissable. It was uncomfortable, awkward, and completely undeniable. Now let's not forget the brand we're talking about here. Balenciaga. This is a label that doesn't entertain chaos. Everything they do is about control, precision, and image. They're meticulous. For them to go from quiet reminders to direct confrontation means things must have gotten really, really bad. This wasn't some minor misunderstanding. It was a full-blown professional crisis. Clips from the event, paparazzi shots, even random fan videos started circulating. The online rumor mill turned what should have been a minor backstage incident into a global talking point. Fans defended Meghan, calling it another example of the media targeting her unfairly. Critics, on the other hand, saw it as proof that her perfect princess image had cracks, and that's what makes this entire episode so fascinating. It's not just gossip, it's a reflection of how unforgiving celebrity culture really is. In the high-pressure world of fashion, where everyone is constantly performing professionalism, even a tiny misstep can cause a chain reaction. The model's discomfort wasn't staged. It was instinctive, real, and impossible to hide. Think about it. These are people who work under extreme scrutiny. They're trained to keep their cool, to never show discomfort. And yet, Meghan's presence triggered visible reactions. That speaks volumes. Insiders described it perfectly. It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't loud, but it was unmistakable. A quiet tension that hung in the air. Everyone felt it, even if no one dared say it out loud. And when whispers turn into widespread awareness in the fashion industry, that's when brands act fast. Not out of malice, but to protect their image. That's exactly what Balenciaga did. They didn't drag Meghan publicly. They didn't make an official statement. They simply contained the damage, adjusted logistics, and ensured professionalism prevailed. But, of course, once the gossip hit social media, there was no going back. People began connecting dots, comparing this incident to Meghan's past controversies. You know the ones: reports of on-set diva moments, alleged staff complaints, and high-maintenance behavior. Suddenly, this hygiene issue felt like just another chapter in the same ongoing saga. For Meghan, who's always tried to maintain control of her narrative, this was a losing battle. You can't spin odor complaints into good PR. And the irony? For someone who built her reputation on elegance and self-discipline, this scandal made her seem human in the most uncomfortable way. Balenciaga's move, though, was a masterclass in corporate damage control. They acted swiftly, separated Meghan from direct conflict, and reinforced their brand's standards, all without a single public word. Because in fashion, reputation is everything. One wrong partnership, one headline, one incident, and millions of dollars, and not to mention years of prestige, can vanish. And while Meghan might have been embarrassed, Balenciaga made it clear their image comes first. Industry insiders say this whole debacle will likely change how major brands handle celebrity collaborations. From now on, everything will be double-checked, not just contracts and schedules, but even personal habits. Because the truth is, celebrity branding only works when personal image aligns with professional standards. The moment that alignment breaks, chaos follows. Still, beneath all the laughter and shock online, there's a deeper message here. This isn't just about Meghan or Balenciaga, it's about the suffocating expectations placed on public figures. Imagine living in a world where even your hygiene routine becomes headline news. For Meghan, every tiny detail of her life, her clothes, her tone, her choices, is dissected endlessly. And now her shower schedule is apparently fair game too. Crazy, right? But that's celebrity culture for you. where perfection isn't optional. At the end of the day, this story serves as a harsh reminder. Even fame can't shield you from accountability. You can have royal titles, red carpet deals, and global fame, but if something's off, people will notice. And this scandal, it's proof that no matter how curated your life is, the smallest slip can unravel it all. The funniest, or maybe saddest part, is that something as simple as take a bath turned into a global talking point. But that's the absurd beauty of gossip. It thrives on irony. Balenciaga did what they had to do. The models protected their boundaries. And Meghan Markle, whether she likes it or not, just became the headline of the month. Insiders are already saying this will be one of those scandals that lingers, the kind that resurfaces every few months, sparking debates and new inside sources, because once an image cracks in the public eye, it's almost impossible to repair completely. And for Meghan, this moment was more than a rumor. It was a reality check, a reminder that even the most glamorous lives are still bound by the simplest rules of humanity: respect, awareness, and yes, hygiene. Fashion Week insiders have even called this whole debacle a cautionary tale, one that future celebrities will remember when stepping into the hyper-polished world of couture. Because here's the truth: image can open doors, but it can also close them. And if there's one lesson this story leaves behind, it's this: no amount of fame, fortune, or royal charm can save you when perception turns against you. So yes, Meghan Markle's alleged Balenciaga fallout isn't just gossip, it's a mirror reflecting the unforgiving reality of celebrity life. Even the most perfect personas can stumble, and when they do, the world doesn't look away, it zooms in. For Balenciaga, it was about protecting their legacy. For the models, it was about professionalism and boundaries. For Meghan, it was a crash course in humility, a reminder that glamour means nothing without the basics. And as the music fades, the internet keeps buzzing. TikToks, memes, think pieces, the story isn't going anywhere, because honestly, it's just too good, too dramatic, too real. The royal who was told to take a bath, Balenciaga standing its ground, models stepping back in silent protest, and the entire world watching, gossiping, and judging. This isn't just another celebrity story, it's a full-blown cultural moment. And you know what? In a world obsessed with image, maybe it's poetic that something as simple as soap and water became the ultimate wake-up call.